Welcome back to another video from my channel. In our previous video, we discussed about calculating the mean, median, and mode from a given set of numbers. Today, we will be expanding our knowledge by calculating them from a frequency table. If you remember from our last video, the mode or the modal class is the value or class that occurs most often. The median is the middle value when the data values are put in order, and the mean can be calculated using the formula x dash is equals to summation of x divided by n, where summation of x represents the sum of the data values and n is the number of those data values. You now need to decide on the best measure to use in particular situations. The mode can be used when data are qualitative or when quantitative with either a single mode or two modes. In that case, that would be called a bimodal dataset. There is no mode if each value occurs just once. For the median, this can be used for quantitative data only. It is usually used when there are extreme values, as they do not affect it as much as they affect the mean. And finally, the mean is used for quantitative data and uses all of the pieces of data available. It therefore gives a true measure of the data. However, it can be affected by extreme values that can be either too high or too low compared to the whole data set. You can calculate the mean and median for discrete data presented in a frequency table. For data given in a frequency table, the mean can be calculated using the formula mean is equals to summation of xf divided by the summation of f, where summation of xf is the sum of the products of the data values and their frequencies, and summation of f is the sum of the frequencies. To put our skills to the test, let us do an exercise from the S1 book. In exercise 2b, in number 4, a small workshop records how long it takes in minutes for each of the workers to make a certain item. The times are shown in the table. Here in the table, we are given a range of workers from A to J and their corresponding time taken to produce that certain item. For number A, we have to find the mode of this data. So if you notice, there is only 1, 7, 10, 12, 6, 5, 26, 11, and 9, and they only occur once, whereas the time 8 minutes occurs twice. As you remember from the last video, the mode is going to be the data set that occurs the most, and since 8 has occurred twice, which is the greatest amount, so the mode is simply going to be 8. For number B, we have to calculate the mean for this data, and if you remember, the mean, which is going to be x bar or x dash, is equals to summation of x divided by n, and in this case the summation of x is simply going to be the addition of all these terms. So 7 plus 12 plus 10 plus 8 plus 6 plus 8 plus 5 plus 26 plus 11 and plus 9. And now let's count the total number of items here, or total number of workers here. There is 3 here, and there is also 3. This is also another 3, so 6 is going to be his. So this is going to be 3, 6, 9, and then 1. So the total number of times here is going to be 10. And calculating this, we get 10.2 minutes. And this is the average or the mean. For number C, we have to find the median for this data. Since there are only single values here, we can rearrange them in an ascending order, just like we did in our previous video. So let us write down the smallest number first, which is going to be 5. Then we have 6 here. So after that, we have 7. Then we have 2 8s here, which is going to be 8, 8. Then we have 9, 10, 11, and 12, which occur once. So 9, 10, 11, and 12. And finally, we have 26. So this is going to be the rearranged version in ascending order. So we know from our last video, the median is going to lie in the n plus 1 divided by 2 term. So 10 plus 1 divided by 2 is going to be 11 by 2 or 5.5, meaning the median is going to be the average of the fifth and the sixth term. So if you look at the fifth term here, this is going to be the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and this is going to be the sixth. So the fifth term is going to be 8 and the sixth term is going to be 9. So the average of those is going to be 8 plus 9 divided by 2. So this is going to be 8.5 minutes. And this is the median. For number D, the manager wants to give the workers an idea of the average time they took. Write down with a reason which of the answers to A, B, and C should C use. So if you look at the data set here, we have these extreme values, 26 here, which significantly affected the mean here, which is 10.2. If you compare with the mode and the median, which are really close at 8 and 8.5, the mean is the highest. And this is because of the extreme value, which is 26. So an extreme value is going to be a value that is too large or too small compared to all the other data sets, and this will affect the mean significantly. That's why, since median is going to be the 50th percentile or the 50% value or the middle value, that's why we're going to choose the median. And the reason is because it is not affected by extreme values, unlike the mean. And this will be the answer for number D. Moving on to number 5, the frequency table shows the number of breakdowns B per month recorded by a lorry firm over a certain period of time. Here you can see that there is a table with the number of breakdowns and their corresponding frequency. So what it means is that the frequency will show us how many of those specific data points are given. For example, 8 frequency of 0 breakdowns means that there are 8 zeros in the series, just like this. So there are going to be 8 zeros, and similarly there is going to be 11 ones here. So there are going to be 11 ones, and there are going to be 12 twos here. This is how the actual data series looks like. So for number A, to find the modal number of breakdowns, we have to look at the number of breakdowns that contain the most number of frequency or the most number of times it has occurred. So this is going to be 12 because it is the greatest number. So therefore, the modal number of breakdowns is going to be 2 because 2 has occurred 12 times, which is the greatest of all of the data. For number B, we have to find the median number of breakdowns. And in order to do this, we have to know a concept called the cumulative frequency. What it means is that we're trying to find out the added frequencies as the number of breakdowns increases. For example, we can draw a new table here showing the number of breakdowns as B and the corresponding frequency as F, and the cumulative frequency, which is going to be abbreviated to CF. So for 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 breakdowns, there is going to be a frequency of 8, 11, 12, 3, 1, and 1. So how the cumulative frequency works is that for the first data set, the cumulative frequency is simply going to be the frequency of that one, because 0 is the first data point here. For the next breakdown, which is 1, this is going to be 11 plus 8. And if you notice the term cumulative frequency, this basically means we're finding out the accumulated frequency. So this is going to be this frequency plus the previous cumulative frequency that you have found out, which gives us 19. Similarly, for the other ones, this is going to be 12 plus 19, which is the previous cumulative frequency that gives us 31. The next one will give us 31 plus 33, which is 34. The next one will give us 35, and the final one will give us 36. To find out the median number of breakdowns, we can use the previous formula, as the median will lie at n plus 1 divided by 2 term, or the position. So n here is going to be 36, because the total number of frequency, or the summation of frequency, is going to be 36 just by looking at this. So 36 plus 1 divided by 2 using the n plus 1 divided by 2 rule, which gives us 37 by 2, or the 18.5 term. And as you have seen in the previous video, this means that this is going to be the average of 18th and the 19th term. So it's going to be the 18th term plus the 19th term divided by 2. And in this case, the 18th term is going to be a 1, because it takes 19 terms for 1 to complete. So if you want to visualize it, there will be 8 zeros here, like this. And after that, there is going to be 11 ones here, something like this. So the total added frequencies is going to be 19, meaning that there are 19 terms. So this will be the 18 term, and this will be the 19 term. So the 18 and the 19 term are both ones. So the median number of breakdowns is simply going to be 1 plus 1 divided by 2, which is simply going to be 1. For number C, we have to calculate the mean number of breakdowns. And in this case, as you remember, because this is a frequency table, therefore mean is going to be x bar or x dash is equal to summation of xf, the product of the number of breakdowns multiplied with the number of frequency divided by the summation of f. So we need to find the product, and in this case we can draw another table to mention the value of x, which is going to be the number of breakdowns, and f, which is the frequency. So we had 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and their corresponding frequencies were 8, 11, 12, 3, 1, and 1. So xf, which is the product of those two terms, is going to be 0 into 8, which is 0. Similarly, this is going to be 1 multiplied with 11. So this is going to be 11. And for the next ones, this is going to be 2 into 12, which is going to be 24. The next is going to be 9, as 3 multiplied with 3 is 9. The next is 4 multiplied with 1, which is 4. And the next one is 5. We can find the summation of the xf values by adding them. So therefore, the summation of xf is going to be 0 plus 11 plus 24 plus 9 plus 4 plus 5. So adding all of those, we can get a value of 53. So therefore, the sum of the product of the number of breakdowns and the frequency is going to be 53. So therefore, the mean is going to be 53 divided by the total number, which is 36, or the sigma of x, and the answer is going to be 1.47. Now, in number D, in a brochure about how many loads reach their destination on time, the firm quotes one of the answers to A, B, or C as the number of breakdowns per month for its vehicles. Write down which of the three answers the firm should quote in their brochure. So if you think from the perspective of the company, you'll see that the model number is 2 and the mean was 1.47. Similarly, the median was 1. Now, if you were in their shoes, you'd obviously quote the value that is the lowest, so that more customers can be sure that the lorry is safe. So in this case, median is the lowest number. So therefore, in number D, median should be chosen. For the last question, the table shows the frequency distribution for the number of petals in the flowers of a group of celandines. We have to calculate the mean number of petals. So in the table, we have the number of petals and their corresponding frequency. So just like before for the mean, we can tabulate this again, but with x here, which is the number of petals, and frequency f, and similarly their product xf, because mean is equals to summation of xf divided by summation of f. So we need to find the xf and the frequency as well. So the number of petals are 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and their corresponding frequencies are 8, 57, 29, 3, and 1. So the product would be 5 into 8, which is 40, 6 into 57, which is going to be 342, 7 multiplied with 29, which is 203, 8 multiplied with 3, which is 24, and 9 into 1 is 1. So the addition or the sum of all these values is going to be summation of xf, which is 608 using the calculator. Similarly, summation of f, adding all these values, is going to be 98. And so therefore, the mean is going to be summation of xf divided by sum of f. So 618 divided by 98, which gives us approximately 6.31 petals as the average number of petals of the flowers. And this is our answer. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. See you guys in the next video, and goodbye.